Ooh, ah. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, and today we're going to be talking about the Chlorophytum comosum, also more commonly known as spider plants. Spider plants are really great for new plant parents because they are really easy to care for and they are super adaptable, so they can live in a lot of different places in your home. They're nicknamed spider plants because of their way of putting out new babies, or also known as spiderets. It kind of looks like one big mama and a bunch of little spiders falling off of it, which is pretty cool. They are also one of the NASA clean air plants and were proven to remove 90% of formaldehyde from a room, which is amazing. That's almost all of it, so we don't want to be breathing in formaldehyde. Send in one of these bad boys. Bam, you're done. No more formaldehyde except for that last 10%, but that's okay. It's probably not going to kill you. They come in a few different varieties. This one is a variegated kind, and they also come in solid green as well. And there's also a type that come in kind of like a curly way, which is pretty cool. I want one of those coming up in the future. And another good thing about them is that they are non-toxic to both humans and pets, so they're totally safe to keep in your home with little ones and furry friends running around, which is super great. Before I get on to the care, I would like to say, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other plants you'd like me to talk about next, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much. Now let's get started. So when it comes to watering, they like probably about a low to average amount of water when it comes to houseplants, so not that much. They like to dry out almost completely between waterings, which makes it really easy if you don't water your plants that often or can't remember to, because they're pretty okay with dealing with that. I end up watering mine probably about every 10 to 14 days or so, and he seems fine with it. I've got him in his nursery pot for good drainage because that's also really important. I don't have a decorative pot right now just because I repotted him recently, and so he's in between his decorative pots. They are a little bit picky though when it comes to the type of water that you're giving them. So if your water is high in salt or fluoride, your spider plants won't like it very much. If it's high in fluoride, you'll actually get brown tips on your plant, which isn't good. Obviously, you want your plants to look as little brown as possible. So if that's the case, it's best to give it some distilled water or rainwater instead, because it likes it better like that. So you also don't want to overwater this plant or put it in a place with bad drainage, because that will lead to root rot and your plant could die even, which isn't nice. Signs of root rot in spider plants are that the base of the stems down here are turning brown and rotting, basically. So try and avoid that if possible. Excuse me. When it comes to light, that's where spider plants are most adaptable. They don't need a whole lot, but they would definitely prefer to be in bright but indirect light. Also, if the light is too low, the variegation on the variegated kinds can actually revert back to solid color. So if you have a variegated one and it's losing its variegation, it's probably because it's not getting enough light. They can also handle a little bit of sun, but not too much. A south-facing window would be okay, as long as it's not too hot and getting too much harsh sun in the day. Like southeast would probably be better than southwest because the morning light is a bit less harsh on them. I personally have mine in my room by a northeast facing window, probably about 6 feet or 2 meters away from that. I think it likes it there. It's not lost its variegation and it's not getting sunburnt, so I think that's probably a pretty good medium. When it comes to temperature, spider plants prefer it to be between 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. That's their ideal but I've never had an issue, and he got through London winter and has been fine. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, as long as they're not really, really freezing or really, really too hot. It's really not an issue. Average household humidity is fine for spider plants. They don't need to be misted or be by a humidifier or anything. You could occasionally mist it if it's looking really dry, but it's totally not necessary. Mine only gets misted if it's right next to a plant that receives mist. There's a dog outside having a fit. I don't know if you can hear that. It's really going at it. Spider plants definitely prefer to be semi-pot bound or root bound when it comes to their pots. So smaller pots typically tend to be a bit better, and it's best not to repot unless the roots are super visible out the bottom or they're popping out of the top of the soil. I just repotted this one a couple weeks back in my How to Repot Your Plants video, and so I think it's taking a little bit to get used to it, and he's not super happy about it. But he needed it. He might be in a bit of shock, but hopefully he'll chill out and be fine soon. So propagation of spider plants is so easy. I actually got this one through propagation. There were a bunch of spider plants in my cafe at my university, and they had a lot of spider babies hanging off. And so I just cut a couple of them and stuck them in some water, and they rooted really quickly. It's best to let the roots grow to about 1 inch or 2 centimeters before you repot them. But you could also propagate in soil as well. It just cuts out the middle step, but I like doing it in water because I like seeing the roots grow. I also have some spider babies right now in some water that I got 4 days ago, and they're already sprouting roots, which is pretty crazy. The roots grow so fast. When it comes to feeding your spider plants, you should probably fertilize them about every 2 weeks or so in the spring and summer, and never really in the autumn and winter, and that's what they like the best. If you do end up over fertilizing your spider plants, they will let you know by browning at the tips, which you don't want. So just, if that's the case, cut back on the fertilization and it shouldn't be a problem anymore. I think I fertilize this one probably about the recommended amount every 2 weeks or so, and doing great, growing fine. So that's it. That's all you need to know in order to take care of your very easy spider plant. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and comment on other houseplants you'd like me to talk about next, and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you next time. Bye. Do the plant dance.